Let me start by saying that I never thought I'd be writing this. I'm not the kind of person who airs their private life online. But something happened recently. Something so bizarre, so unsettling, that I need to get it off my chest. Maybe someone out there will tell me I'm not crazy, or maybe someone has gone through the same thing. If nothing else, writing this will help me process what happened. So here it is. My 25F fiancé, 25M, is not the man I thought he was. And I'm scared to find out who he really is. My fiancé, Ben, is, or was, the definition of a perfect boyfriend. We met during our senior year in college. I remember how his smile lit up the room when he first walked up to me during orientation. Ben is charming, polite, funny, the kind of guy you bring home to your parents without hesitation. He made everyone around him feel at ease, and he made me feel like I was the center of his world. For 4 years, we were inseparable. From vacations to late-night talks on his balcony, I was convinced I'd found my soulmate. We got engaged last summer. He proposed in a quiet clearing by the lake we always visit on our anniversary. It was perfect, so Ben. Tears, hugs, laughter. My family loved him. My friends were jealous of him. Everyone thought I hit the jackpot. But about 6 months ago, things started to change. Slowly at first, little things that were easy to brush off. Ben would zone out during conversations, staring at his phone or into space. He was never rude, never aggressive, but something was off. When I asked him about it, he would smile, kiss my forehead, and say, "Work's been a lot lately, babe. I'm sorry." I believed him. Why wouldn't I? Ben had always been honest with me, and everyone goes through rough patches. But over time, the work stress excuse started to wear thin. It wasn't just the distant looks or the distracted responses. It was him. The way he carried himself around other people, co-workers, friends, strangers at the grocery store, was different. It's hard to describe, but he felt like a completely different person. If you've ever seen someone switch from their public persona to their real self, you might know what I mean. But Ben's switch was drastic. Around me, he was still Ben. Sweet, thoughtful, soft-spoken. But when he didn't think I was watching, that's when it got weird. The first real red flag came in January. Ben and I had decided to host a game night at our apartment for some of his work friends. I was excited. He always talked about how great his coworkers were, and I wanted to meet them. The night started out fine. Ben was his usual self, helping me set up snacks and fussing over whether the drinks were cold enough. But the moment his coworkers arrived, something changed. Ben's entire demeanor shifted the second he opened the door. His smile was sharper, almost predatory. His voice deepened slightly, his words confident and clipped. When he introduced me to his friends, it was like he had rehearsed some scripted version of our relationship. "This is Emma, my fiancée. She's great, isn't she?" he said with a grin that didn't quite reach his eyes. Everyone laughed, and I tried to shake off the weird vibe. Maybe I was imagining things. But as the night went on, I couldn't stop noticing how different Ben was. He dominated the conversations, always with some exaggerated story or joke. I caught him shooting me smug glances, as if he was performing for me. At one point, one of his friends jokingly called him a charmer, and Ben's response sent chills down my spine. "Well, you gotta know how to get what you want, right?" It wasn't what he said, it was how he said it. Like there was something darker beneath the words. Something calculating, something cold. After the party, Ben snapped back to normal. He helped me clean up, teased me for looking tired, and kissed me goodnight like he always did. I wanted to ask him about the way he acted, but I didn't know how to bring it up. It felt silly. He hadn't done anything bad. So why did I feel so unsettled? Over the next few months, the feeling only got worse. I started paying closer attention to Ben when he thought I wasn't around. And what I saw made my skin crawl. One night, I woke up to find Ben missing from bed. I thought maybe he'd gone to the kitchen for water, but when I went looking, I found him in the living room. He was standing in the dark, staring at his reflection in the window. At first, I thought he was sleepwalking, but then he smiled. Not at me, at his own reflection. It wasn't a happy smile. It was sharp, toothy, and completely devoid of warmth, like the grin of someone who just got away with something terrible. "Ben?" I whispered. He flinched and turned toward me. For a split second, I swear I didn't recognize his face. His expression went blank, and then he smiled, his smile, and said, "Hey babe." Couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all that night. I started keeping a journal of all the little things. The strange smiles, the changes in his voice, the moments when he didn't seem like Ben at all. I felt crazy writing it down, but I needed to make sense of it. And then, last week, I found something I wasn't supposed to find. Ben left his laptop open when he went to shower. I wasn't snooping, I was just going to close it. But a chat window caught my eye. It was a message from someone I didn't know. The name was just a username, Darkmask93. The message read, "You need to keep it together. She's starting to notice." My blood ran cold. I stared at the screen until I heard the shower turn off. I slammed the laptop shut and forced myself to act normal. That was 3 days ago. Since then, I've barely been able to look at Ben without my stomach twisting into knots. Who is he talking to? What are they talking about? And why? Why does it feel like I don't know the man sleeping next to me? I don't know what to do. I can't confront him without proof, but I'm terrified of what I might find if I dig any deeper. Am I losing my mind, or is something seriously wrong with my fiancé?